Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on Legends of the Hidden Temple, Episode 13, the season finale, entitled The Aboriginal Australian Legend of the Seven Sisters. And here is my review on this season finale. Episode 13 was fine, of course, and here we go. The teams that were involved this time around were the Purple Parrots, the Blue Barracudas, the Green Monkeys, and the Orange Iguanas. And for the Moat Challenge, basically the teams had to do something long and crazy, of course, as always, as each of the teams would have to read instructions, float to the first part of the game, and they would have to eat different things. They would go to the second part as well, read more instructions, and just eat more things. And the first team to eat 3 meal pouches or whatever, won the game. And honestly, each of the teams were moving at their own rate, at their own pace. And some of the teams were going fast, some of the teams were going slow. The Orange Iguanas fell still ahead during the game, and the freaking meal pouches that they had to eat was freaking disgusting, such as crickets, bugs, sea chips. It was just some weird mess. But out of all, despite the craziness, the Blue Barracudas, the Purple Parrots, and the Green Monkeys were able to advance onto the Steps of Knowledge. The Steps of Knowledge was up next, of course, and honestly, it was not even a game, if you can call it one, as the Blue Barracudas immediately answered all of the questions, and they were the first to advance without missing no questions. You couldn't even call it a two-way tie between the Green Monkeys and the Purple Parrots, as the Green Monkeys, they did the same thing like the Blue Barracudas did. They immediately answered all the questions again, and just like that, the Blue Barracudas and the Green Monkeys are into the Temple Games. The first Temple Game to me was an interesting Temple Game, as both of the teams would have to climb up on top of that tall mountains, grab like 5 to 6 many different sticks and everything, and they would have to basically knock out 7 sets of teeth. And the longer the stick became, the more difficult the challenge was, as both of the teams were on a pretty fast pace. But when it got to the knocking out teeth portion, both of the teams struggled big time. But the Blue Barracudas were able to overcome the struggle by using the stick like a whip or somewhat, and they were able to finish Temple Game number 1. The second Temple Game was also interesting to me as well, as both of the teams would have to race into the forest, hear the sounds of a monster and everything, mimic the sound of the monster to their other teammate. Once that other teammate found that monster, rip the heads off, give it to the other teammates, and place them on baskets and everything. And whoever went the fastest won. And the Blue Barracudas decided to go first, and they were able to finish the game within 2 minutes, as they really did not have that much difficulties. But the Green Monkeys attempt was just downright sad. It was not even close to funny, as they had a lot of freaking trouble at the mountain part, like where you climb up and everything. Like they couldn't even get that right. Like the teammate was climbing it like the warped wall from Ninja Warrior. Like he kept falling and falling, but they were able to make somewhat of time with 30 seconds left, but it was just too little and too late. The Blue Barracudas were able to advance into the Temple Games. The team members for the Blue Barracudas were Angelo and Stefanina, and the artifact location was located in the Pit of Despair once again. And honestly, this was one of the most craziest temple runs in this revival series. Stefanina started off the temple run, and it seemed as if like she was on a really good pace, but she lost her pendant of life when it fell down and everything. And she was just taking a little bit too much time in the Royal Rage room. She was able to make it through, immediately gets captured in the room of the beloved. Angelo, he was able to grab the pendant. He was able to make us some time, but he was a lot slower than Stefanina. Like it seemed as if like he was just taking his time without realizing that $25,000 was on the line and everything. And he made it through the Shrine of the Silver Monkeys. He had a lot of trouble at the Steamy Hollows and the Queen's Armory. He was able to make it into the Dark Forest before time was up. And that is how episode 13 and season 1 ends of the revival series of Legends of the Hidden Temple. To me, this episode was not bad. I felt like all of the teams were interesting and likable, of course. I really did appreciate the fact that they did mention Kurt Falk in the Dark Forest, saying to watch out for him and everything. And it sucks that we couldn't end the season on a positive note with a winner in sight. But honestly, it is what it is. Hopefully season 2 does get renewed. The show is not bad. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst in my opinion. But we'll see. And until next time, goodbye.